Here is the Parker Chevrolet Game of the Week.
Week 12 of the high school football season is known as Rivalry Week, but it's not just rich history that makes this week's matchup some of the best. Region champions will be crowned, home field advantage earned, and bragging rights claimed, and it's why we couldn't just pick one game of the week.
The Josh McFather era in Quitman looks a lot like it did under former head coach Maurice Freeman. After dropping 3 of the first 5 games, the Trojans have been making light work of the region, outscoring opponents 179-33. The Indians will be a different test. Irwin County is a top-scoring offense in the classification, averaging more than 45 points per game. Shane Marshall and Jason Jackson, running behind one of the best offensive lines in the state, will be a problem for Brooks. But this game will come down to the Indians secondary that allowed almost 300 yards and 4 touchdowns through the air just 6 days ago against Turner County. Containing Junior Burris and his top weapons in Kamari Brinson and George Lamons Jr. will be an even tougher challenge. More than 90% of the Trojans' total offense comes from Burris and running back Chris Cole, who has rushed for almost 1,300 yards and 14 touchdowns in just 8 games. The Trojans will claim the region title with the win. It's more than a win needed for Irwin County. They'll have to outscore Brooks County by more than 17 points in order to bring home the region crown. A lot on the line on this final full slate of high school football regular season action. Let's head over to Mackenzie Blaze, who has more on a big-time matchup out of Thomasville.
Friday night, 2 defending state champs will face off on the gridiron as Coffee travels to Thomas County Central. TCC is unbeaten at home and led by one of the best QBs in the state, Jalen Johnson. The Yellow Jackets' high-powered offense is averaging 50 points a game, scoring under 40 just once. Now the Trojans will shine defensively and will rely on a pressure to disrupt a strong passing attack. On the offensive side of things, Coffee will lean on their running back, Tyrese Woodgett. The senior has been on fire lately, rushing 122 yards per game with 12 total touchdowns. Despite no title on the line, there's still big playoff implications. The winner will receive a top 2 seed and host a playoff game. Now a region championship is on the line in Shula, and Janier Cooper has more on that matchup.
A game that was scheduled for October 4th now being played this weekend as Valwood makes the trip to Tift area. And up until 2 weeks ago, many thought this would be the region championship matchup. But Valwood's loss to Deerfield makes it a lot more interesting. With the win, Valwood could still sit atop the region, but they wouldn't be alone. It would be a 3-way tie between them, Tift area and Deerfield. Now, all of that is contingent on the Valiants getting the win on Friday, which is a lot harder this week than it was back in October, as they're without 2 key players. Running back Tristan White out with a collarbone injury, and quarterback Tate Snellgrove out for the season with an ankle injury, meaning freshman quarterback Asher Wells will make the start, and they're going to need to play near perfect game if they're going to come in and take down the Tift area Panthers, who have yet to lose in the region this season, and they remain undefeated at home. So a lot at stake here in Tift area, a lot at stake all across South Georgia as we send it up to Morgan Jackson in Titletown.
In 2022, Lowndes lost the Wintersville Classic for the first time in 5 seasons. Since then, the trophy has remained with the Wildcats. Fast forward 2 seasons, Coach Carter has his guys rolling and back to their winning ways with an 8-1 record. The offense is led by sophomore quarterback Jace Juice Johnson and senior Marvis Paris, who's accumulated over 1,000 total yards this season. This offense is averaging 38 points a game. On the outside, Marshall commit Jalen Carter leads the team in receiving with 74 yards per game. Be on the lookout for the possible matchup between Carter and Valdosta 4-star DB Jalen Copeland. Just 20 minutes up the road, the Wildcats also enter Week 12 8-1 with their lone loss to Richmond Hill, where they were without starting quarterback Todd Robinson. All eyes will be on the Georgia commit, who suffered a light ankle sprain Week 8 against Camden County. There's been a noticeable difference without the dual-threat QB. The offense scoring a max of 14 points through the last 3 games. I spoke with Todd at practice, and I asked him on a scale from 10% to 100% where his ankle's at, and he said 100%. Now, there are region implications on the line on Friday. With the win, the Valdosta Wildcats will be crowned the region champions, while Lowndes needs a win and a little help from Colquitt losing to Richmond Hill to claim the title. We'll have coverage from all these games in the Locker Room Report on Friday starting at 11:07 p.m. Until then, reporting from Titletown, I'm Morgan Jackson for WALB Sports.